What's going on, guys? I'm Mike Pouncey, former center for the Miami Dolphins. I'm here with Coach Fred and my brother Marquise Pouncey, former center for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let you guys know that Twin P is official liquor, the Common Man Podcast. Bottoms up, Twin P, best. Gotta drink some more.
What's up? What's up? What's up, man? We are back with another great show for you lined up. Common Man Podcast, Drive at 5. Hey, make sure you call a friend, tell a friend. Make sure you send them the link. Make sure they get on. Also, make sure they like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. You know what it is, Common Man Podcast. Again, Common Man Podcast across all platforms. Make sure you check it out. Get it to your friends, man. Let them know. Every Wednesday, we're bringing you top-notch content, things you can use in your everyday sports life. Again, like the other shows, man, we have our resident doctor coming on with us. We have a former coach, former NFL player going to be joining us as well. And, you know, he's the show's doctor. He's my guy. He's our guy. He's our doctor. We're going to bring him in right now, our guy, Dr. Fred Kinsey.
Hey, how's it going?
Doc, what up, man?
Oh, man, just braving this Mississippi heat. Just a little bit at a time. I've been putting in some work at this cigar shop, so, you know, every day is $1. Striving.
All right, well, before we get into it, man, let's talk about the lounge a little bit.
Yeah, man, just opened up a cigar shop here in Jackson, Churchill Cigar Shop. With 3 of my best friends. So we're doing a lot of hard work, getting it up and running, doing some lockers. That's what I'm out here doing right now. That's why I got a little sweat on my head. Out there building out these lockers so we can have some private lockers. So on 55 North Frontage Road, 5050 I-55 North Frontage Road, right next to Capitol Grill. So come back and check us out if you're in Jackson. We'd be happy to see you.
What I guess, you know, for me, what the inside like? What we got going on the inside?
Oh man, I have to drop you some pictures so we can show it on the website. It's kind of dark in the daytime, so it's kind of hard to see it on the camera. But it's real, you know. I call it the sexy vibe at nighttime. Low dim lights. We got a little jazz music playing during the daytime. We might crank it up on Tuesday is Blues Day, so you come in, you're gonna hear some blues going on after 5. Mondays, Mimosa Mondays, so ladies get free mimosas. So it's a good time every day. But it's a real chill, sexy vibe, and lots of little intimate spots. So little 2-seaters, 4-seaters. We do have a bar, do beer and wine, no hard alcohol that we sell, but you are able to bring your own. So it's a good little spot. I was looking at that bourbon on the come up. I was like, man, that'd be great right now.
So what's the hours?
Hours 2:30 until really. I mean, 'cause sometimes we close at 11, sometimes we close at 2 in the morning. It just depends on the crowd. You know, if y'all got us hyped and we having a good time, we ain't gonna close the doors on nobody.
So okay, let's set this up right now in front of everybody. We need to come do a show there. Cigars and lounge.
Definitely. Let me know when you want to set it up. We can make it work.
Cool. We can talk about your Cowboys this y'all year, all that, you know.
You saw the game. We looked pretty good. I mean, it wasn't you know, the best game ever played, but I would say for a team with only a few people that names you can call off the top of your head, I would say that we're looking pretty decent. You know, that defense shore up a little bit. CD, you know, put some glue on them gloves, and we're gonna make this season do what it do.
So you still feeling pretty good about it?
Oh yeah. I feel better now than I felt before the game. But yeah, seeing them play, seeing them execution, seeing them put up 40, almost 40. I was like, oh yeah, this our season. I'm back. We back, baby. We back.
I think we touched on this last show, Doc. You know, maybe those little nicks and knacks and little dings growing up as a kid got all y'all Cowboy fans, man, to where y'all kind of suffering with some stuff now as y'all are older and it's causing delusion and all that kind of stuff. And, but it is what it is.
We're excited to be here, and we know that we're gonna come and we're gonna rock it out. So that's all that matters.
This y'all year. I get it, baby. I love it.
Yeah.
Hey, so man, I know you're busy. Before we get you out of here, you always drop something for the parents of the younger players. You always drop something that even the college players can take. When we're talking about bones and we're talking about bone bruises, we're talking about fractures, hairline fractures. What are some of the telltale signs, say that little league mom should be looking for? Because the most common thing is the collarbone. When we're talking about that, what is the most telltale sign you can give to a parent that something may be fractured, hairline, bigger than that, whatever? What are some of the telltale signs you can kind of give them?
So from an ER standpoint, we tell people all the time, one of our telltale signs is not wanting to bear weight. Okay, so in the lower extremities, that means not wanting to put any weight on that extremity, either left or right. And then we kind of work our way through that. Sometimes, especially in kids, they can't always tell you, if you get down to a low age, the 3-year-olds, 2-year-olds, they can't tell you, it hurts right here on my knee versus my hip versus my ankle. And so you have to just look at them and try to watch them walk and see what happens. You watch them walk and you see them start to limp. You see them not want to put any weight at all on that left leg, that right leg, and then you kind of work through those joints and see where the problem is located. Same thing with the upper extremities. You notice that they don't want to use that right hand. They don't want to use that left hand. They don't want to bend that elbow all the way throughout on the right. They don't want to use that elbow all the way throughout on the left. They don't want to raise that right shoulder above their head. They don't want to brush their hair because their shoulder hurts. Those are kind of some of the telltale things that we look at, because if you have full range of motion in the upper extremity, lower extremity, if I can range that every joint from the fingers to the wrist to the elbow to the shoulder, if I can put some force on those long bones, and you don't really wince, you don't really cry, the likelihood of you having a true fracture there is highly unlikely. You may have a bone contusion, you may have a little bruise, but if it's fractured, my expectation is that there's going to be some swelling. That's just reactive from the periosteum, which is the covering of the bone being disrupted. So you're going to have some swelling first. And then second, you're going to have deformity. So it's going to look different. Whether it be, with the clavicles, you can see clavicles on most standard weight people. And so if the shirts are off, I should be able to see those clavicles. They should look symmetrical. I mean, they should look the same on both sides. If they've never had a fracture, never had anything broken. And so if I take that person's shirt off and I look at those clavicles and one is up here and one is down here, something ain't right. And so we need to get some pictures to kind of see what's going on. Sometimes x-rays don't do you justice. Sometimes you don't see a fracture on the x-ray. I've been plenty of times where I've been tricked. I do an x-ray of a hip. The x-ray is read as negative. I look at it, it looks negative to me. I got all the views I'm supposed to have. But then I get the person to trying to walk for me, and they just can't bear weight on that hip. Well, something ain't right. If they can't put any weight on the hip, and that X-ray is telling me that it's negative, I got to go a little bit deeper. I got to get a CT scan to see if that gives me a little more high detail of that bone. Sometimes the CT scan doesn't show the fracture. Sometimes the fracture is that small, is that hairline, that they still can't see it, and then we have to go up to an MRI to get the actual most detail, because MRIs can see not just bone density, but they can see, not density, that's a bad word, not just the detail of the bone, but they can also see bone edema. So they can see a contusion, they can see ligamentous injuries, they can see when the cartilage is disrupted, but they can also see, most importantly, hairline fractures. And so sometimes I've had to order an MRI just to make the definitive diagnosis for some bone fracture. So, from a mom, dad standpoint, not wanting to bear weight, not wanting to use that extremity. If that happens, they need to go get checked out. Point blank.
Point blank. You got it from the common man doctor, Dr. Fred Kinsey. We love him. We're going to continue to work with him in that cowboy stance that he's always on. We're going to get over there. I'll get with you offline as far as, setting up a time to come over, man, a day sooner than later. And shoot a show, and We'll definitely do it, man. Appreciate your time, Doc. Get back to your lockers. Again, this is mental health month, not mental health month, but suicide prevention.
Mhm.
Uh, just real quick, Doc, if you can give me 2-3 minutes of what, and I know this is not your area, but being a physician,
Yeah.
just a few telltale for teenage parents, even younger parents of younger kids, just telltale signs of what they should be looking for, especially in this month.
Yeah, so I tell people a lot. If you see a change in your kids' behavior, whether it be becoming more active, becoming more aggressive, becoming more um, uh, verbal, or if you see even the opposite, a big regression in what they normally give you. If they're, normally a very active person, speaks to everybody, does this, and now they're sitting in a room all the time, sitting in the dark, listening to a different type of music, question them. Ask those open-ended questions. Is everything okay? Is there anything I need to know about? Is there anything bothering you? Blah blah blah. Those different questions that you would typically ask any person that you think is possibly going through something, and then don't just take a no for an answer. Go back and ask that question a second time, ask it a third time, reword it, get the other parent to ask the question. Sometimes kids are closer to cousins, they're closer to aunts, they're closer to uncles. Let those uncles and aunts know, hey, I think something's going on with little Timmy. Would you mind talking to him to see if you can get him to open up? And don't be afraid of therapy. I tell patients all the time, there's nothing wrong with putting a child in therapy. There's no age that is too low for a child to go to therapy. If they can talk, they can be in therapy, because you just don't know what they're willing to open up with a stranger versus what they won't open up with you, because those people are trained in techniques that can pull information out that you as a parent, you think, you can do it, but these people are trained to do this. And so let them, if you think something's going on, if you have a high, if your antennas are going off, if your spidey senses are telling you something ain't right, don't be afraid to talk to a therapist, talk to the teacher. Hey, have you noticed, these changes? Have you, the teacher may be like, oh yeah, we have noticed that he sits in the room now, he doesn't talk to his friends like he used to. You never know what you're gonna find when you dive in. But those are just some of the examples I try to give parents. And one of the biggest thing is don't be afraid of therapy. Be aggressive about getting your children help as soon as possible. The sooner you can get them help, the better they're going to be. The faster they're going to get on the road to recovery.
There you have it from the common man, Dr. Fred Kinsey. Want to say thank you again, Doc. We'll be back next Wednesday. Hopefully, you'll have the time to join us, and we'll talk some more sports injuries and what to look for parents of our younger athletes. And again, give them that address one more time. Where you at?
5050 North, 5050 I-55 North Frontage Road, Suite. I'm not sure. We're close to the Burger King. It's right next door.
Can't miss it. Churchill Cigars. Hey, appreciate you, Doc.
Appreciate you, my brother. Have a good one.
You too.
All right.
That was our resident doctor, man, Dr. Kinsey. If you got nothing else from that, man, hopefully you guys, if you see or feel that there's been a change in someone you know, whether it's your child, your nephew, your niece, co-worker, whoever, he just gave you some signs, some tips. Let's try to be a blessing, a help to someone in that situation, and let's beat it. You know what I mean? No further ado, man, as we continue to move along in the show, good friend, family member, all that, won a state championship as a coach, won a few Super Bowls as a player, won every bowl game he's ever played in. He's been on the show a couple times. He's from my crib, again, family, all that. Hey, let's welcome in my guy, the Blade, to the stage. What's up, B?
Hey, how you doing, man? How you doing?
Man, I'm good, B, man. How you living, baby? Everything good over there?
Everything good, man. No complaints, man. Florida State is winning, and I feel real good. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm gonna
Yeah.
say as far as on that. You know what I mean? I feel good. but my nose are doing good.
Yeah. I love it. I
Yeah, my
love it.
nose doing good. I'm doing good, yo.
I love it. I love it. Hey,
Yeah.
coach. So, wanted to bring you on and kind of talk about it as, we talk about early in the football season, man. A couple teams that have gotten off to a start less than fitting, less than what they were looking for.
Yes.
Uh, as a player, you've been through it. As a coach, you've been through it. I want to start with the player aspect. And I only bring the player aspect because you've been through it. I've lived through it with you. You know what I mean? Game one, you high expectations coming into game one, and you fall a little short. The following week, getting up off the mat, you know what I mean? Mentally, from going high to giving up a game that you know you shouldn't have lost. As a player, how did the Blade deal with that?
Everything is determined for the most part. The game is emotional. Anything that competitive is emotional that you're in. Is your relationship. You love ball. What I'm talking about? It's like being married or anything else. And so what happens is that the leadership, the leaders on the team, those players and the coaches and administration, they set the temperature for the comeback. You know what I mean? It's how you present to your players when you go back into the locker room. You know what I'm talking about? Is this if you find somebody that's emotional, it's like you tell them like, it's only one game. You know how many more games we have. You know what I'm saying? You see the teams that we have to play, and it really is a week by week deal. And so one game don't just crucify, a team season. Not the first game, not even the fifth game. You know what I mean? As long as you in the hunt, I mean, you still have a chance. And so you have to have somebody in leadership that can go off their experience and be able to say those things to the team. You know what I'm saying? And relay it to the leaders, and the leaders relay it, you know what I'm saying, when the coaches in around to the locker room. Look at it, that was yesterday. You know what I'm saying? All we can control now is doing the best we can for the day, correct the mistakes that we made last time. Everything that we want to achieve is still in front of us. It is. It is still in front of us. It is not that we 0-1 or even 0-2. My senior year at Florida State, we went 0, we went 0-2. We lost our first two games, lost to Brent Favre, and Terry Allen and Clemson ran over us. And then we won 10 straight. You know what I'm saying? And beat Auburn and beat LSU and beat Miami and beat Florida and beat Nebraska. And I'm saying, so everything that you want to achieve is still in front of you. You got to make them understand that as a leader, it's the leadership. I'm going back on leadership now. So the players can be, because they're young. You know what I'm saying? And even if you're in the NFL, you know what I'm talking about? You got players ain't never been in that situation before. I came here to win, and we don't win 0-1. Hey, now it's the leadership and the leaders, the Jerry Rices, the Deion Sanders, the Michael Irvins, you know what I'm saying, the Damian Thomasons, them the ones that say, and they see how they work still through it. Like, man, it's just one game. Boy, we about to smash whoever we about to go against again. So it's the leadership I really feel that keeps the temperature where it needs to be in the room.
So, and you kind of beat me to that. So I had 2 years that I want to talk to you about as a player. We're going to go back to your junior year.
Mm.
Number one, AP poll, preseason, uh, stacked, loaded team. Dropped the Seminole rap, the whole nine. You know what I mean? The expectations are sky high. And game one used to be versus the U. And you come out and you fall short versus the U. So the number one ranking is no longer there. How flat, and I know you're flat, but how flat were you, if you can remember? And from being that flat, how did coach get you guys back up to fight the rest of the year?
Coach Bowden was an awesome man. And we had some really great coordinators, and Mickey Andrews and Coach McDuffie. We had Mark Rick and John Eason. And and first, let me say, the Seminole rap was a bad idea. And I'm part of it, because it wasn't me that started it. It was someone that thought it'd be good, somebody that was on campus. It wasn't within the football program, it was media. And it was like, let's do it. And they came to me and I got recruited guys and we did it. And it was cute. But knowing what you know now, all that did was give like fuel to the fire to a team that got a hold of it. You know what I mean? So you don't do them things. You do you do the Chicago Bear strut thing after you win the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? You don't do it. You lesson learned. You don't do it before because that's all that does is give the teams. We didn't fall short. We got smashed. You know what I'm saying? It was 31-0 down in the orange. I'm just gonna be 100
I
down in
was
the
trying to
Orange
I was
Bowl.
trying to ease into it. You know what I mean?
I,
I was
I,
crushed.
I'll say,
I was
I'll say,
crushed.
I'll say the real. We got smashed. You know what I'm saying? We got embarrassed um, down in the Orange Bowl. You know what I mean? Because it was the expectations were so high. Um,
Yes.
but after the game, even though fans was throwing chairs at us and everybody was hurt. They was, man. We was walking that locker room. We had to duck. We had to duck and dive just to get back into the visitor locker room because everybody. Not that we lost, it was how we lost. We got dominated. You know what I'm saying? And Miami really, you know what I'm saying, took it to us, and they used that Seminole rap as fuel. Of course, they still had Jimmy Johnson and all like that. But when we got in, Bobby Bowden just consoled us, and like that's the same thing. He just one. It's the first game. You know how many games we got left? We got 10 for sure. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And so like this game here, we're gonna go back. And he just said, Miami got with us. They handled us. You know what I mean? And you got to own up to what we didn't do to be the best that we couldn't be. See, when you're a competitor, you own up. You don't make excuses. I got to own up, and that's what we did as a team. We owned up to it, and I'm telling you, that game was behind us the next day. As long as you didn't read the paper, look at the news station, and you know what I'm saying, and listen to people. We just stay with each other, and this is what we got to do. Okay, this is what we got to do Sunday to get better. We got to run these gases hard. This is what we got to do Monday to get better. You know what I mean? To let the nation know that wasn't the real Florida State. And so once again, though, it goes on the leadership. So we didn't fold and was like, oh, the season over. We done lost one game. Nah, what we saw was we got at the next team that we played. We got to show them, kind of like what Alabama did. Alabama lost to the nose. I'm talking about in a way that they're not comfortable losing.
Mm-hmm.
But whoever signed the contract next to play them, you know what I'm talking about? They played them to their best ability. And that's the Bama, they put themselves back on the map. All right, this is what Bama really looked like. And that's how we had approached it. That wasn't the best, what I'm saying, the best showing of Florida State. And we know that. And we own that. And so after that, we went the correct the things that we made mistakes on. Be smarter about putting bulletproof material out there, and just keep chopping wood and carrying water, and that's what we did. And we ended up winning 11 straight games. We went 11-1. We got smashed by Miami 31-0, and won 11 straight. And ended up number two, and number three in the nation at that time. Of course, that was before the bowl championship and everything like that. But it goes again. You know what I'm saying, Coach Fred, it goes on the leadership. And the leadership within the team, the leadership with the coaches, it wasn't no hollering, fussing, and cussing, and oh, y'all got trash. No, it wasn't that. It was like they got with us. We took this L. This is what we got to do to get better. What I'm talking about, and that's what we did.
And then we get to your junior year. All right. Some of that leadership's gone now. You
No,
had some juniors. Your senior year. Your senior
Yeah.
year. Some of
Mm-hmm.
that leadership's gone. You had some guys leave early. You had some seniors on the offensive side of the ball from last year that worked with you guys. And like you said, you come out and you drop Southern Miss, you drop Clemson. Now you come into the year in the top 5 again,
Yes.
and you drop 2, not 1, you drop 2. One of them, which was at home. You got to be flat now. It's got to be in the head now. Like, whoa, this might not be the normal what we do type thing. How do y'all guys within that locker room with Coach Bowden, man? How did you guys get off the mat from being 0-2?
The good thing
A
was
bad
that
0-2.
the good thing was is that it was my senior class, so it was the '85 class, and most of us was like fifth year seniors because we got redshirted, and so we was veteran enough to like. You hate to say it because you don't want to always be like, all right, then we got to rebound after a loss. But we had went through this last year. You know what I'm saying? The year before. Now we ain't go 0-2.
Yeah, just one.
But we went 0-1. Like, and so like the Southern Miss game was a shock. And Brett Favre uh, did a fantastic job of bringing his team down, and we had to discipline a couple players, so we wasn't fully loaded. So then we go play Clemson at home, and so we think we right, but we still wasn't right because we still didn't have the pieces in the right place. You know what I'm talking about? We had players that wasn't in the right place. No excuse. Clemson dominated us. Like Southern Miss didn't dominate us, we lost. You know what I'm saying? But Clemson came in and ran over us, Terry Allen and stuff. So then we had to look in the mirror. I mean, you think about it's like this even in life, and it's like this when you're being a competitor. All right, now are we gonna fold? You know what I'm talking about? Or are we gonna keep fighting? You know what I'm saying as far as the next game. But because we had so many of those fifth year seniors, including myself, we didn't let the team, along with our coaching staff, because now I'm the leader. Deion Sanders is gone. You know, it's me, Leroy Butler, and we got young guys like Terrell Buckley. You know what I'm saying? That's on that thing right now. No, we know who we are. All right, then. Clemson got with us, punched us in the mouth. All right, we get together. We're not fighting. We're not complaining. We're not giving excuses. We own it. And then we went on that run and won 10 straight. You know what I'm talking about? And it beat Nebraska. Yeah, we beat everybody. Beat Auburn at home and beat Miami at home. That was one of the biggest games because I had never beaten Miami. And beat Miami, even though they still won a national championship. I will say that. But we beat them because we had 2 losses. Beat Florida and then beat Nebraska in the deal. I go back on again. Everything is off of leadership. Now, especially when you have a team that can challenge and be competitive. And so we're still that same team. Now it's mental. All right. Are you going to fold and let the exterior? Are you going to hear the crowd? If you can block out the noise and you can focus on what you're doing, don't hear the noise. It's us in this room. I tell my students even that in class. You listening to that? No, don't stop hearing the noise. You can't hear it. You got to block that out, and you got to stay raised. They talking about locked in. You know what I'm saying? We had to get locked in. You know what I'm saying? 0-2, we got to get locked in. Or we gonna go like what happened last year with Florida State. You know what I'm talking about? And obviously it was big changes made because big changes need to be made. You know what I mean? When you go 2 and whatever, you know what I'm saying? Cats quit. You know what I mean? But when you got good leadership, good leaders don't let you. Good coaches and things, they don't let you quit. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna put it off the coaches. It's really the players because we the one playing. So we be in the locker rooms, we be in the cafeteria, we be in the dorms or the apartments or wherever we are. It's us that when something negative is being said, like, man, it's us that kill that. Nah, we're not going down that road. We know what we're gonna do. And that's what happened with our year. You know what I'm saying? We had a good, that was my senior year. In my 85 class, we know what they say about the 85 class as far as being the class that, you know what I'm saying, got the dynasty started. You know what I'm talking about? Part of it. You know what I'm saying? And that was our senior year. We weren't going down like that. We weren't going out like that. And even though we went 0-2, we never blinked. You know what I'm saying? We was like, Terry Allen, I think he's still running. Terry Allen, I thought, Terry Allen, where you at, boy? I'm going to hit you across the street. Yeah, he's still running. You know? Yeah, but we never blinked on it, man. And just the leadership again. It's the leadership, really the leaders on the team. You know, the Ray Lewises and the Mike Singletaries, you know what I'm saying? Them guys, man, the Jerry Rices and the Steve Youngs, like gathering the team to that. You know, when you be having those team-only meetings, you know, we're going to have team-only meetings. You know, we did that. You know what I'm saying? Look, this is what we're going to do. And the leaders stood up and what nobody complaining and fussing. Cash just looked and, you know what I'm saying, didn't blink. Okay, this is what we got to do. And the first thing is we got to win this next one. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about we're talking about winning the week, right? You're talking about we got to go 1-0 every week. All right, we went 0-1 that week, 0-1 that week. So we didn't see 0-2, we seen 0-1, 0-1. Now we got to go 1-0 this next week. We went 0-0. Then we went to the next week. We went 1-0. Next week, 1-0. Now you add them all together. Of course, you get 10, you get 11.
Now, to the coaching part of it, you know, if you know Coach Andrews, you know he was a tough guy. If you know Coach Amada, you know he's a tough guy. Coach Bowden, not so much in that realm of those guys. But when you talk from the coaching standpoint, from the year before, one loss, running the table, the next year, two losses, and now you're faced with trying to run the table again. Did they ever waver on you guys?
Never. Never wavered on us. Hardcore competitors. Kind of the fear factor with Coach Andrews. If anybody know Coach Andrews, talking about we didn't want to have a losing season and get killed by Coach Andrews. And said there be burials out there. Plus, Coach Andrews, man, he's a junction boy. You know what I'm saying? Bear Bryant boy, Alabama guy, man. It never wavered. And I give all that to my coaches. You know what I'm talking about? They didn't beat us down. You know what I'm saying? They didn't berate us and different things. That's not Bobby anyway. You know what I'm saying? Bobby Bowden's not like that. You know what I'm talking about? Now, Coach Andrews can get like that, but they understood. They done been in this before. You know what I'm talking about? In different places that they have coached, that you're not going to get the best out of them if you do certain things.
Right.
So how do we go 1-0 this week? Now, they still coach hard, but they didn't dog us. And they never brought up the past week. Like, this is why you didn't, you know what I'm saying? And then you did. No, it was coaching back like it was in the spring or something. Okay, we going through the same drills. Big four, we tackling every day. We catching balls, running routes. You know, Dexter Carter was on that team. Marion Bucks was on that team. Peter Tom Willis, Odell Higgins. I'm the seniors now. Dedrick Dodge, Leroy Butler, Terrell Beck. We still had dudes. Lawrence Darcy, the Fab Four. You know what I'm saying? We just had to tweak. You know what I'm saying? We had to get a tune up. You know, and went through a little roughy rock, but the coaches stayed with us, as your question was. They stayed with us. I'm gonna go back to high school. I remember going in. I was the head coach at Evangel Christian, and I took over a squad that lost a lot of seniors, kids. And so I remember going out to spring practice, and I think we had 14 kids at spring practice. Here it is. Now you're talking about coaching, right? And what you can do, you can either be positive or look dejected, but that filters into the players. You know, they looking at you the coach. You know what I'm saying? And we looking for, you know what I'm talking about? Like, we looking for energy from you. I go out there and there's 14 players. And I said, I asked them, I said, this it? And they said, yeah, coach. They said, yeah, coach. They said, yeah, coach, this is it. I said, good. I said, how many on the field at one time? They said 11. I said, oh, we don't need 11 to play. Let's practice. You see what I'm talking about? It's the message from the leader, you know what I'm talking about, that sets the temperature for the team, coaches and players. You know what I'm talking about? It's that. And so when you got that kind, now look, you do need players. Now, even though I have 14, I had like 8 guys can really get it. They play both ways. Now, I had 8 of them 14 can play. Look, I ain't going to front now. You need players. It ain't I ain't always coaching. Hey, you already know. I had Nate. I had players. But other than that, they saw that I wasn't dejected. I wasn't, man, this is all we got. I wasn't negative. Let's practice. Okay, I'm going to put you here, put you here. I asked some guys to sacrifice and do things that they normally wouldn't do, and they did it. So let's flip to the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Or college, like you say, college. It's the same thing. You see what I'm talking about? You still got to breathe positive in. You can't bring negative energy in. And if it is negative energy, you got to nip it at the butt. You got to snip that. That's poison. You know what I'm talking about? Like Nick say, rat poison, the highs and the lows, it's the same thing. And so you just stay locked in, even kill on that. But it all goes back to leadership and the person that's in charge and the players, more the players than even the coaches. You know what I'm talking about? Because when you get to the NFL, Coach Fred, you know, you got guys making a lot of money. They'll shut down in a minute. They check going, you know what I'm saying? They already got guaranteed money, you know what I mean? So you think about how them NFL coaches got to talk to cats. You know what I'm talking about? To be able to keep them locked in and keep them focused. Like Miami right now. My Tyreek, little Tyreek down there now. He a little extra case. You see what I'm talking about? He very demonstrative. You ain't at Kansas City no more, brother. You know what I'm saying? You don't have Patrick Mahomes. You know what I'm talking about? You don't got Andy Reid. And I'm not dissing Miami coaching staff, but brother, we need you. I'm just saying, me from the outside, I ain't no Miami Dolphin fan, but bro, I need you to have better language, better body language, and better leadership on a team when you the leader. See, that's different. So here you complaining, give me the ball, this and that, and all that negative energy that flows throughout the team. He don't get that. You see what I'm talking about? Rather than we gonna be all right. Hey, keep your head up. Hey, come on now. Now we ain't doing that. You know what I'm talking about? Whenever y'all get me, if I gotta block every play for 10 plays, I'm gonna block every play. You know what I'm saying? He got to have that mentality. No, he with the mentality, me. That's what's your choice, teams. The leadership. You know what I'm talking about? Rather than being a leader and be like, yo, hey, I'm gonna do this, whatever. We're not gonna allow that. We ain't no negative. We do. Vikings just came back and beat them boys. You see, same thing. There's a young quarterback. He threw a pick, ran for a touchdown. You know, the players didn't get down on him. Oh, he a rookie or, second-year rookie, even though he's still like a rookie because he played last year. No, they encouraged him. That kid went and told him, I got you. It's my fault, this and that. Owned it. Players, we got your back too. That's the mentality that you need. You see what I'm talking about? And no doubt that they came back. Let's go Buffalo. They was dead to the war. How did Buffalo come back and win that game? But you had a guy. Did you see any posture from the Buffalo Bills and their leader showing like he was down? Was he cussing out? Was he fussing? No, he was just like, get me the ball again.
Yeah.
I got it.
Bring
Just
it
give
back.
me the ball again. Just hey, bring it back. Give me the ball. Derrick Henry fumble the ball. We get it. Hey, told you. Let's go. We rocking and rolling. We got to get it again. Defense, I got faith in you. Get me the ball again. You know what I'm saying? We're going to come back. We're going to get it. It's all about the leadership and positive. I'm in class. One of my words is negative as far as the vocabulary words. A negative mindset, a negative persona of it never helps nothing. It don't make things better. So the coaches got to be positive no matter what's going on. And the players got to be positive, especially the leaders. You know what I'm talking about? Because you got young guys who are emotional, like Dedrick Dodge when he used to be young, emotional. You know what I'm talking about? You got to have somebody reel him in. It's going to be all right, bro. It's going to be all right, man. Play the next, easy, man. Play the next play. What's your next play? And be the best you can be on the next play. That play gone. You can't get that back on that aspect.
Now, and I just crossed it off because you kind of touched on it and beat me to it as we kind of get through the interview, man. Your head coaching days, you take a team to the state championship, D1 art, you finish the drill, you come back the next year, you still do what you got to do, you get there, but you don't finish the drill. You don't finish the drill. How is Coach Dodge attacking that following year? Because the expectation was to get back and win this thing. And then you get back and you kind of fall short. How is Coach Dodge, how is his staff rounding this thing up to make sure that we don't have that flop the following year?
It was a great accomplishment. We lost some players. It's just like it is now with NIL, and it's big. It's really a big fish eat little fish type deal. And so I had developed some players that went to bigger schools. So we lost some players, but I still had a good core, and we really felt we was going back, and we did. And that was the whole mentality of getting back. And we got back. We lost 14-10. And so, and it was mistakes that we made as coaches and as players that helped the FAMU Baby Rattlers get there. We really should have beat them 10-7. They picked up a fumble and ran it in for a touchdown, and that's how they ended up winning 14-10. I mean, that's one of the major plays as far as like that. And I'm going to go back far as like, look, Derrick Henry got away with that. And I'm saying it's on his heart until after this next game. Because I know he feels in his heart, like, if I don't fumble that ball, I don't get Buffalo life. I know he feels that way. And so even with my player who fumbled the ball and they picked it up and ran it in, I know he felt like that. But within me, that's just one play. You see what I'm talking about, the whole nine. We got all these other plays still to play. And so I always The good thing is I've been coached by good coaches everywhere I've been, and it started at Marbury. And I had Vic Smith. Vic Smith was my coach at wide receiver. Bethune-Cookman Wildcat, and he was my coach at defensive back. And then I go to Florida State, and I had a good coach, and Coach Andrews and Coach Bowden. And everywhere I was at in the NFL, I had good coaches. I'm coached by Ray Rhodes. I'm coached by Pete Carroll. You know what I'm saying? I've been had, you know what I'm saying, George Seafoot. I've been around good coaches, Mike Shanahan. And so I take everything, all them things that I've learned, and I put into my toolbox, and I share it with my team. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I'm never too low, and I'm never too high in when things that happen. And so, like, even during the loss, guys crying and everything like that, I told them how special this season was. You see what I'm talking about? Look, we had a team, Coach Fred, that we didn't have a locker room. We dressed out of our cars. I used to wash their uniforms at my house. You know what I'm talking about? We rode the little fruit truck bus. It was a white bus. They used to tease us. I'm telling you, they used to tease us. It was
I
a
remember.
white bus. Yeah, a little
Yeah.
white fruit truck bus, man. You know what I'm saying? The workers go pick on it. We was on that bus. You know what I'm saying? Going. So for us to get there, even though we fell short, we didn't get blasted. We still was in the game. We just made that mistakes. FAMU was the better team that day. We held them to one touchdown. They had a little offense. They ran the wing team. It's just that, turnovers can beat you at the times, and that's what happened. But I didn't let them feel like it was a loss or anything like that. We got all the way to the state championship game again, like 2 years in a row. And just tried to put it in them and let them know how appreciative I was, Roman. So thankful. Because I would have never been back. I would have never, if it wasn't for them, I would have never been there. They might say it's me. No, it was them. The players play. And so I just was thankful for them. You know what I'm saying? For doing all that they did, man, to help old retired NFL coach Dedrick Dodge experience something at that magnitude again, even to be in a championship game to this day. So I flipped it on him, man. I took the pain out of him, man. You know what I'm talking about? No, this is special. And when you go back, you can say, you know how many teams played in the state championship that year? Only them two in our division. You know what I'm saying? Nobody else did. You know what I mean? And so you see I'm talking about leadership again, and how you flip and manipulate even as a teacher. You know what I'm saying? You flip and you manipulate it because you're trying to benefit the young people whoever that you lead. You know what I mean? And that's what I try to be the best that I can do. But I learned that. Coach Fred. I learned that from people who coached me because I was once them. And so now I'm the leader, like I am in my classroom and stuff. And I try to take the things that I've learned and also instill them into the ones. And that's how you keep that positive wheel flowing.
So Coach Dodge is, as we wrap it up, Coach Dodge is walking into a locker room of a team that had preseason high expectations, not just within, because every team has it within,
Yes.
but the outside, the publications, the media had you, here, and you hit a rough patch coming out the gate. How is Coach Dodge attacking that going into this stretch run with all the hype that you came into the season with?
We still who we are. We just fell short that first one. Kansas City Chiefs. You know what I'm talking about? San Diego came out and jumped on Kansas City Chiefs. We still who we are. We're going to look at this tape. Like I said, we're going to go. My mentality is what I heard. We're going to go 1-0 every week after this. We're not looking past down the line. For instance, Florida State. I'm going to look at Florida State. And I know we winning, but I'm going to just say not looking past. I'm using the analogy of not looking past. I can't look past these other two teams that we got to play before we get to Miami because I know everybody thinking Miami and you're overlooking Virginia, but Virginia done beat us before. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So we not. So I'm saying we going 1-0. So we're not even looking at Virginia. Whoever this next team we got them. Got this next game, and then but we're not looking past that. It's like who the opponent is. Then we lost this game. They got the best of us. It's always when you're a leader, you always hold it to you. I never put on the players. It's the player. No, I'm the coach. You know what I'm talking about? And we as coaches, we own it. We got to coach better. I love when I hear them coaches say, "We got out coached." You know what I'm saying? Look, I didn't do a good enough job to get my players prepared to be able to finish the drill as far as on that. So I have to look in the mirror and do the best I can next time when we come out. And that's what I tell the players. It ain't on you. I do that in my classroom, Coach Fred. When the students didn't get something and I be up in class, I did it this week. And I said, it's my fault. Some of y'all didn't get it. But you know what? I'm not blaming you. You know what I'm saying? It's my fault. I didn't explain it well enough. So I'm going to slow it down, explain it well enough, and we're going to harp hard on these fundamentals so that the next time we play or next time we have an assessment or next time whatever, y'all going to get it. But that's on who? That's on the leader. That's on me. You know what I'm saying? It ain't on them. Now, I want to take that off them. I put it on me to make them be at ease so they play with a comfort level. You know what I'm talking about? Coach believes in us. I believe in you. You know what I'm talking about? And I know you can do it. And that's why I'm making you do this here or run these extra gases or whatever because we look like we was in shape. You know what I'm saying? This is the reason why. You know what I'm talking about? But I'm going to do better. Are you willing to accept it? Are you willing to accept it to get better? Or are you looking for somewhere to lay down and make excuses and point fingers and different things like that? Leadership. So I'm telling my leaders, and then those leaders tell the rest of the young players when they're in the locker room or back playing PlayStation, whatever that they're doing. And that's how you try to keep the level. Let me go back now. You still need players to win. All that sound good, be a good speaker. Bill Belichick is good. But when he lost Tom Brady, okay, that's a whole nother story, another topic, right?
Hey, man. Hey, you got to end on that one. That's it. At the end of the day, if you ain't got the Jimmys and Joes, man,
You
it don't
gotta,
matter. It
that's
don't
why they draft.
matter.
That's why they draft every year.
It
Why they
don't
draft
matter.
every year.
Listen, I don't care what anybody tell you.
Yeah.
If you ain't got one or two of them,
You gotta
nah,
have them. You gotta
nah.
have one or two of them. Hey, and I want to say this too. You think about it. I was thinking about this before I got on the podcast. You think about the Dallas teams when Jimmy was there. You think about it. Novacek, Johnson at fullback, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, Alvin Harper, Troy Aikman. We ain't gonna talk about defense as far as all of that they had over there in the offensive line with Eric Williams and all them boys over there and Larry Allen.
Larry Allen.
If it wasn't for Dallas, Buffalo at least win two. But
Ooh,
we saying that Dallas had players. The
yeah.
triplets, they had players. It was more than that. Remember now, Jimmy, what they went one year? What they 1-16 or 1 and something, 1-15, 2 and something. Remember?
Two and something. Yeah.
And that was the same Jimmy Johnson that won national championships at Miami. Knew that they needed players. Got rid of Herschel. Traded them and got all them picks. It goes back on this saying again. It don't matter how good a coach you are, how good speeches you make. You see what I'm talking about? You still need, you know what I'm talking about? Jimmy. I don't know who made that, who brought that up. I don't know whoever Jimmy and Joe is, we need them. We need Jimmy, we need Joe.
Preferably more than two.
Yeah, we need
Preferably
Jimmy.
more than
Yeah,
two of them.
an S on it, huh, man? We need Jimmys and
Yeah.
Joes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
And,
man.
and, and I'm gonna close it with this, man, because I had the opportunity, we had the opportunity to finally coach against each other. And I only bring it up because the expectations, your last stop, I won't say the name, your last stop uh, was riding high. And we ended up beating you guys. And is it safe to say that loss beat you twice?
That loss, to me, that loss took the air out of us. And see, man, that's a good one, Coach Fred, because now this is an example of where I'm gonna say, because I was part of the staff, and so I'm gonna say all of us. I'm not gonna point fingers at anybody. We wasn't able to get that team back to play at the level that we knew they could play because they were so dejected after that loss. It was hard. It was like if we lost the SWAC championship game. That it was. and the way we lost. You know what I mean? Because we were on a high and was expected to be where we were supposed to. You know what I'm talking about? One of the teams
The
that was supposed to
expectation,
challenge
yes,
was high.
yes.
That's a good one. And to me, when we lost that game to you guys in that atmosphere, I can still see it. Whoop, 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 whoop. All that, man. You know what I'm saying? It took some energy because you need 11 on each of the teams, special teams, defense, back, to be on the same page and be locked in. If you lose 2 or 3 of them, then you're not the same team. And so, like, you have guys listening to the crowd, listening to reporters, listening to alumni, listening to everybody outside the locker room. You can only do the best you can as a coach, but you got to try to keep them in. You know what I'm talking about? It's block out the noise and let's reload and get locked back in again. Remember now, that was our second loss because we lost a game we thought we shouldn't have lost when we was up in Jersey. I think we lost to Hampton. I think it was Hampton or Howard, one of them. We lost to them. We shouldn't have lost to them because their expectations were so high. But when we lost that second game to the Marcon Braves, I think it took a lot of steam out of us. So now we felt we lost. I think the players thought we lost control of handling things on our own, and now we're looking for Alcorn to get beat rather than focusing on being 1-0 every week. You see what I'm saying? You know, we peaking. Who Alcorn playing? Did they lose? Now that's losing focus. We shouldn't be worried about Alcorn. We should be worried about the next game that we playing. And then what's going to happen is going to happen. But we got to win to even put ourselves in the position. We can't be sitting there praying on Alcorn's demise. We had our opportunity. You know what I'm saying? For real. You know? And so that's what happened. And that was a good analogy because that's what happened to us. I really, truly believe. We lost a little steam. We still was good, but we lost some steam. We lost some steam. After that loss, we did. It wasn't the same. It wasn't the same atmosphere around the locker room and stuff. It wasn't. Nope.
And that's tough and that's hard to guard against as a coach. I don't think a lot of the profession people know how hard that is because these kids have so many people have access to them, and we only have them a certain amount of time during the day, and we can only say it so many times. Don't listen to so and so. Don't listen to so and so. But eventually, because they're kids and they're human, it's gonna seep in. It's gonna seep in, and it's up to the guys in the collared shirt to try to seep in more than that seeps in. But I think at times, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but I think at times that's kind of impossible to do.
You only have a certain amount of hours that you can spend with them. It's a limit. You know what I'm talking about? And you're still dealing with young athletes, you know what I'm saying, and young adults. And not only the football aspect, you know, they got their regular lives and things that they deal with on the outside. And that's why veteran leadership is so important. You know, like we said, I brought up, you know, the Buffalo game and, you know, just Harbaugh, what he's done with San Diego. It's his leadership. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Harbaugh's been good everywhere he's been. Both Harbaugh brothers. You know what I'm talking about? Now this Buffalo team has been a thorn in the one Harbaugh brother at Baltimore.
Yes, consistently.
But they're always right there though. It's so crazy because it's never a blowout. It's close.
Tight
It comes
games.
down. Tight game. But you just, you know, you got that other guy. But when you're dealing with young guys, you know, if you don't have that type leadership on your squad, you know, it really can sink a team. And I'm gonna use Florida State. It sank us, Coach. It went back to us, Coach Fred. It went back to us from the bowl game when Georgia smashed us when them guys didn't play. I understand why they didn't.
Before the bowl game.
It's a new era. It's a new era. But when those guys wasn't invited to the Final Four because our quarterback was hurt, it took the air out
the program.
Out the program, and it filtered over to the next year. It did.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And then Coach Norvell, to his credit, recognized that we took our lumps and revamped. I mean, he did an oil change. Transmission fluid change, all change, tune up. You know what I'm talking about? Had to. Because those players that folded during that time and couldn't rebound, man, we cannot use them. I can't use this type gas no more. Y'all, we driving with this 87. You see what that got us? We need to get this 93 octane up in here. And we went out and got Tommy C. And he's not 93 octane. You know what I'm talking
Knock, knock. I was a little worried about him. Knock. I was a little worried about him, but he's come out, man. He had some comments over the summer. That's a whole nother show. But he had some comments over the summer, man, that had me scratching my head. Like, wait a minute.
But here we go. Leadership, right? Right? So he came in. Remember when I said he came in with an attitude as of he got a chip on his shoulder. They benched this boy at Boston College. He got a chip on his shoulder, and he letting people know. And he's telling the room behind our back, Coach Fred, y'all with me or not, bro? Yeah, I know I just got here, man. I ain't going to sign it, but I mean, y'all got me or what? Yeah, I said it. This is what he's saying. You know how they going to be, huh? Y'all got me or what? What they going to say? Man, I don't know. You should have said that, bro. Like, no. Now he knows. Them Bubs like, man, we got you back. Keep talking. We got you. And that's exactly what happened. And so you see what that breathes into a team? Again, what? Leadership.
Circle back.
Circle back, Coach. Circle back.
Mm-hmm. Hey, man, with that being said, man, I'm going to let you finish enjoying that tabak because I know that's what you got.
It's a Jewish state, though. It's not a tabak.
You switched up on me. All right.
But no, you really half right because tobacco is Jewish state. It's a Jewish state cigar. So it's a sweet one. You know, I smoke the sweet ones.
I know. That's why I said tobacco.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So you're on that sweet Jane or Fat Bob?
No, it's a Isla. It's a Isla. I forget the name.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
But it's off the same Jewish state.
Same line.
Yeah, all the Jewish states are sweet. Yeah, it's a Jewish state though. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. That's what's up.
Hey, get I ain't afraid to say it on tape, man. I go to the Jewish state, man, because certain cigars, you know, every now and again in the month, man, I can't afford certain cigars. So I just come down to the Jewish state. Look at it. I ain't in the NFL no more, y'all. I ain't in the NFL no more. I'm just being 100.
Yes, sir. Hey, we're gonna have to get you back, man. A little bit farther in the season, man. We have to get you back, man. We got to talk some Power 5 FBS football, man.
Anytime, brother.
Sprinkle in some NFL, man. Throw a couple games out there that's in your bedtime range, so you can look at. We can break down, get some commentary on, and do it big from the inside. So with that being said, man, again, appreciate you, dog.
My brother.
Love you, fam. Yes,
sir.
Love
you too, fam. Love you too. Proud and happy for you, brother.
Thank you.
Yep. Yes, sir.
We're gonna link up. Yes, sir. Man, what a show. Man, hope you got something from my guy, Dr. Fred Kinsey. Hope you got something from my guy, Dedrick Dodge, the Blade, Coach Dodge. Most of all, man, we just want to keep pumping it out, man. Good content going through the school year, the football year. I'm sorry. He got me talking about the school year. You know, he teaches. But, you know, again, man, we're going to keep at it. We're going to get these coaches out of their comfort zone. We're going to get them on. And we're going to talk about these programs. And we're going to talk about the games they playing. And we're going to talk about those student athletes. And most of all, man, we're going to talk that health thing to make sure that everybody is doing what they need to do to be able to be here to see many, many more football seasons. That's the game. That's the goal. That's the aim. Hey, man, when's the last time you called that doctor? When's the last time you went and had that checkup? Hey, when is the last time you called your best friend? When's the last time you called your cousin? Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Hey, girl, how you doing? You know what I mean? This month, Suicide Prevention Month. Hey, let's do our part. And if you got something going on and you're listening, hey, man, find somebody to talk to. Get it off your chest. Let's get it straight. You know what I'm talking about? And at the end of the day, if it gets a little hectic, keep it all on the table.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Mike Pouncey, former center for the Miami Dolphins. This is my brother Marquise Pouncey, former center for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
What's up, everyone?
This is our new cigar line. It's called Twin P. It also matches well with our bourbon whiskey. It's called Twin P as well. So if you like to smoke cigars and like to drink whiskey, I advise you get both.